Hey everybody, this is Daryl, aka The D from the Simply Incredible podcast. And yes, since you last saw me, I did get a haircut. What was I thinking? Today we're going to do my top 5 graded comic books. When I say top 5, it's not by value. It's just the ones that I'm like, this is my top 5. Top 10. Because I brought 5 honorable mentions because I couldn't narrow it down to just 5. And to be honest with you, I've got about 15 more that I was going through to decide which one's going to make the top 5. I'm like, you know what? Just make it a top 10 and go on about your day. You know, as everyone says, no particular order. But the top 5, there is a little bit of a method to the madness on them. So I'm kind of excited about this. We'll start off with the next 5, so to speak. And again, these 5 are not in any order because if they were, this one would be probably 6. Or if I do this video again in 2 weeks, it might be number 1. Who knows? But this is one that I don't understand the value of because I don't really keep up with value other than sometimes I'll look at stuff and I'm like, why is that not going up like all these other books have? You know, it is what it is. But Detective Comics 880, this amazing jock cover, next to last issue in the series. I've always loved this cover. I remember there for a while, you would see posters everywhere of it, wallets, t-shirts, all over the place of this amazing artwork. And I'm just like, man, love this cover. It makes me happy. I did a lot of work to find this book. True story. My friend Chris, I've mentioned this story on here many times. He had this book back when he had his shop. It was in his personal collection, and he kept saying, "Well, I haven't read it yet. When I read it, then I'll sell it to you." And I'm just like, "Okay, when are you going to read?" He's like, "Well, I really don't know because I really don't have time." It's okay, Chris. It's okay. I've got one, and I'm happy with it. I got it raw at Tidewater Comic Con back in 2000. When was that? 11, probably about 2016, 2017, something like that. And I was very happy with it. And again, the price on this one, like the rest of them, I probably don't know the value of any of them, but this one, I kind of know just because over the big boom the last 2.5, 3 years, I don't think this one has moved at all, which shocks me to no end. Completely stuns me. But anyway, one of my honorable mentions, Detective 880. Next, this one, oh man, I love this book. 1976, 1975, I was way off. It is The Joker, #1. And yes, there are a lot of Marvel books in here, a lot of DC books. I don't know the breakdown of them, but I think there is 1 or 2 independents in there. But this one, I remember I was trying to get the whole run of these, and I still haven't. They're really hard to track down, especially in good grade. To me, an 8 on this, white pages, still really good, really good. This is, again, my next 5, all of them could have been in my top 5. I just want you to know. So there you go. My next one, because I had top 5, then I call these my next 5, so to speak. There you go. Love that. Did you go back in the day? Love that Joker. This is one I feel like I meant to put in my top 5. Now I don't remember what's in my top 5. Amazing Spider-Man. We got to bring Chris up again. I got this from Chris, and every now and again we'll be talking. He's like, I wish I hadn't sold you that book. Amazing Spider-Man 194, first appearance of Black Cat, came back a 9.6, and to be honest with you, I don't really, you know, like 9.8 is not a big deal for me, but at the same time, I'm just like, how was that not a 9.8? This was absolutely gorgeous. Chris had it, as far as I know, from when it came out. I think. Hey Chris, if I'm wrong on that, comment below. But this book is absolutely stunning. And send it off, get it graded. I would have put money on it. It was going to be a 9.8. So, I mean, that's how great this cover is. From 1979. I actually thought it was 1978. Al McGrone cover. Absolutely awesome. Okay. Now, this book right here would have been in my top 5 if the grade were a little better. And it's my fault on that. There's a little split in the top corner that I didn't even see this. It is Wonder Woman 614. This says Josh Middleton cover. I'm pretty sure this is an Alex Garner cover. I am pretty sure this is an Alex Garner cover now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, I love this cover. And like I say, I'm fairly confident this is Alex Garner. I don't see either one of them's name on the front, but oh well. But anyway, this was the last issue of the this Wonder Woman run before they, you know, rebooted again. Back in 2011. Back before the New 52 started, actually. And I thought this cover was absolutely amazing. It's so cool. You can turn it upside down, and where the water is showing her reflection, you see an amazing, almost different cover, and it looks so good. You just see her looking down, because this right here, you can just really see her looking down at the sword coming through her and everything. And this one over here, you see the sword coming up to her, which it's beautiful, beautiful artwork. And again, I'm fairly confident this is Alex Garner, not Josh Middleton. I gotta look this up because, I mean, I'm fairly confident on this because I know Alex Garner had a bunch of the issues, the variants in this run. I literally never looked that up. I literally never looked at that. Now, I don't know what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, this one is, I know this is supposed to be a short video, but you know how I am. This one, again, was battling to make it in there. Everyone knows I love Harley Quinn. This is not a Harley Quinn book. Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, they were doing a signing at San Diego Comic-Con. And I was like, you know what? I want to get a book signed by them, but I don't want it to be, you know, the obvious Harley books or some of the other stuff. But I was like, this is a really cool one. It's not like well known, I don't think. I think people in the know, but people out of the know are like, the what? It is the Pro 9.4 or 9.8, excuse me. It's just a one issue. It is not for children. It's definitely not for kids, but it's just like, that is so cool. And the story for adults, again, it's hilarious. There's some stuff in it that it cracks me up. Garth Ennis also did the story. Awesome, awesome stuff. I would love if they did another one of these. It's so good. So very good. Okay, now the top 5. And let me check my order to be sure that's the order I want them in. No, you go right there, I think. Yeah. These last two, I don't know which one to go with. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Okay. Let's set him right back over there. Okay. I love the series. Absolutely love the TV series. And when I actually found out there was a book, I think I was at a Hot Topic one time, and I remember asking, hey, do y'all have any comic books or anything? They're like, hey, we actually happen to have some. And they showed me Orphan Black. And I was like, what is Orphan Black? And the lady was like, I have no idea what it is. They just sent us some comic books. I'm like, okay. Well, then then fast forward a few years, I start watching it on Prime. And I was like, wow, that is a really good series. And the lady here that stars in it, wow, I'm blanking on her name. It's the lady from She-Hulk. And I know a lot of people hated She-Hulk, so they would probably dislike this. It is what it is. But I thought the show was amazing. And at last look, I had the only graded copy of the A copy. This is the A copy. The A copy seems to be really hard to find. I looked for a long, long time. And not only at last look, did I have the only one on the CGC registry, but it's also a 9.8. Sorry for the glare, which apparently I got glares coming from everywhere. But I love this book. If you haven't checked out the TV series, again, adult-oriented, but it's really, really good. Some parts of it are amazing. Some parts you're like, you know what, I don't really want to see that. But she plays so many roles on the show. It's great. Absolutely great. Okay, next. Remember when I saw this one online for sale, I was like, wow, that looks really, really cool. So I was like, you know what, I'll get that. When I got it in and actually looked at it in my hand, I was like, oh my goodness, that cover. Wow. It is Deceased #1, the Dan Kitana cover, and I just love this cover. It is a 9.8. And I just like, wow. Just wow. The watercolor, it's just a beautiful cover. It's just, wow. It's stuff like this is why I love comics. I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words, so they say. But this, to me, it tells me a story. Just looking at the cover, don't even read. You just look at that and go, wow, that will tell you something. Just an amazing, amazing cover. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, this one, again, I'm so happy I got this one. And again, 9.8, which, you know, great, but wow. Every time. And to be honest, when I was going through my graded books, this one didn't even pop into my mind until I was going through. I was like, oh, wow, I forgot about that. Such a great cover. And the thing of it is, I don't think a 9.8 really sells for much. You know, it's not a key issue. But for me, wow. Love this book. Love that cover. And maybe I shouldn't have put this one right here. Back-to-back Harleys. But the reason I fell in love with Harley all those years ago, you guys have heard the story if you watched the channel, was Mad Love. I do want at some point to upgrade this to a 9.8 or at least a 9.6. When I bought this, to be honest with you, I thought it was a higher grade, but the corners got a little bit of damage on it. Actually, the top two corners, top corner up here, bottom corner down there, but that's okay. But this story, I didn't even know there were comics out of Harley at that time. Batman the Animated Series, I didn't even know that they were out there. But the animated series itself, when this episode came out, this is when my love affair with Harley Quinn began. Just to see what she went through. And that's why she, like, the abusive girlfriend became the Joker's main squeeze. his girlfriend back then, you know, and it showed me so much. And wow, the writing, the storytelling behind it. Was it, yeah, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm's story, Bruce Timm cover and art. The story just leaps out of the book. To me, it's one of the best origin stories of her character for me. Even though I know in different things her origin changed, but this origin for me, it stuck. And I'm sure like nowadays they can't really do that because of the abuse angle and everything that they took to build Harley. But awesome, awesome, awesome. Number two. Why did I start martial arts? Brandon Lee. Brandon and Bruce Lee. Now this one I was going back and forth. Do I want The Crow #1? Do I want Caliber Presents #1? Or do I want The Crow Hack Slash #1? And I ended up going with this one just because it's Brandon. Such an amazing Brandon Lee homage cover. Who did the artwork on this? Michael Crutchfield, and I believe it was limited to 600. And just the art on there is just, every time I see it, it takes me back to watching the movie The Crow. And Brandon Lee's last movie and the performance he put on in that movie. And you just knew where he was going in the future if it wasn't for the accident on the set of The Crow. He had so much potential, so much charisma, just jumped off the screen. He's one of those guys that I think could have gone action movies. He could have gone love stories. He could have been drama. He had sense of humor. I mean, he had everything, and it just sucks. It just really sucks. But when I see this book, it puts that smile on my face because of how great The Crow was. And that infamous line, "It can't rain them all the time." So, love this cover. Love that cover. Okay, and #1, worst drum ever. This one is one I wanted for a long time, and well, not for a long time. I remember when I first saw it, and I was like, wow, I would love to have one of those. Selling for way too much, way too much. I remember seeing an auction, and I was like, well, I might as well try. And I ended up getting it for a lot less than I had anticipated getting it for. It is Underworld Blood Wars #1, signed by you-know-who. Kate Beckinsale. Absolutely love Kate Beckinsale. It's just watching her movies. I used to follow her on Instagram, and absolute wicked sense of humor. Just hilarious. And so I was like, wow, got to get that book. They also have a Margot Robbie signed book of Harley Quinn, and I really want to get that one, but I cannot pay like $1,000+ for it. But Kate, there's Kate's autograph. 9.8. I actually have the book. Not great. Just I got it at the shop back when we had a local shop. And so when I saw this one, I was like, yeah, let me try to get it. Have one signed. I wanted to go to meet her at a show, at a Comic-Con sometime, but she's never been at any of them that I was going to. And I was thinking about going to one in Ohio a few years ago, and she canceled on that. So I was like, well, save me money. Save me money and a long trip. So there we go. That is my top 5 and bonuses. Again, these are not, like I say, not the top 5 value. These aren't the top 5. Trying to think, well, what else would I say? Maybe not my top 5 favorite reads, but some of these are my favorite reads. Some of them, again, like this, just one of my top 5 books that was like, yeah, it's going to be tough to pull this one out of my hands one day. But, yeah, just the top 5 art on them. So, again, some with stories, some with art. They just hit me from different angles. I may also do my top 5 Raw books, because I got a ton of Raw books that I want to get graded that I've not gotten graded yet. And some of them that will never get graded, just with autographs and stuff, so those won't get graded. But, you know, it is what it is. But all in all, let me know what you think. Would you have moved some of the ones that are in that next 5 to my top 5? Let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't made a video, make one. If you have made one, tag me down below or put the link down below so I can come check yours out. And if other people can come and watch the videos and go and see your video as well, that would be awesome. Love seeing that. But that's all I got. And you guys have an incredible day.